when we realize that, and be that, we be that love, we be that peace in the earth, we do something beautiful. We make this earth a little more beautiful, a little more loving, a little more kind, a little more peaceful. And that is our gift to Gaia. I love, love, love you. Hello, my wonderful friends. Magus with you on a beautiful day in Asha. Today we're going to be in Asha 8. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. And today's message is the spell breaker. And I think you're going to like it. I want to also ask you to do me a favor. It encourages me. It gives me strength and energy to make these videos every day. If this channel, getting a Zoroastrian message every day, has meant anything to you at all, please hit that like button. It means the world to me, and it helps our channel. The last paragraph of Asha 8 says, on a subconscious level, in my deepest beliefs, I live in truth, and the lie of discord disappears. The spell of separation is broken. The idea that I'm separated from good life, God life, from love and power and freedom and all good things, that lie, that illusion disappears because we're holding the truth. We're knowing the truth. We're intimate. We're one with the truth. And the lie no longer has an effect on us. You know, I heard the story of how they train elephants, and they'll take a baby elephant and they put a chain around its leg, and they put it to a post so it can only go around so far. And when that elephant is grown and can easily snap that chain, pull that post out, it doesn't. Because for so many years as a baby elephant tugging on that chain and nothing would happen, it gave up. It thinks it's impossible. You know, it all starts in the mind, and I've seen this. You know, the Jewish people say, give us the child from zero, is age 0 to 7, and we'll give you the man. Because we also were in what they call a theta state, where everything you're told becomes your truth. And that's how people can find themselves bound, because you have an idea of truth that isn't the highest truth. And you could be set free today, but it's a choice. Some people, believe it or not, choose not to be set free because it might not be beneficial to them. You know, think of all the masters that knew the highest truth and told others about it. They weren't patted on the back and thanked. They were hit over the head. They were burned alive. They were crucified. It goes against the dark system, the religious systems, the government systems, the educational systems. It goes against the structure that is. My friends, because the structure that is built on lie and illusion for control and fear. And my friend, I'll tell you, look at your religions. You know, this message goes all around the world. Look at your holy books that they say, the good book. Look at the stories. The stories of if your children are acting up or disrespectful, stone them. And you know what? To those parents, that was natural. I always thought, why didn't they say no? Why didn't they move to another village? Why didn't they run and hide in the woods? Because it was their truth. They thought that's just how it is. They were raised, and their parents and their leaders and their community said, this is what you do. It was their truth. They didn't even think of running away from it, trying to protect the child. It's just how it is. That's what God wants. That's what their prophet says. And so they just lived in it. And I'm sure there must have been some mothers that went through absolute hell when their child was acting up and disrespectful and mouthful like children do. And she handed him over to the priest, and then it was too late. She might have been having regrets. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's probably my fault. It was too late. My friends, I think of even in today, the way we're trained, that we'd send our children at a young age of 18 years old. They can go fight and die for their God and country. Well, why don't we run? Well, you'll be a coward. You won't be respected. It's not godly. It's not American or whatever country you're in. And so you'll send your children off to die. And usually we find out many years later, it wasn't for God or country. It was for oil or minerals or whatever. My friends, think about that. We send our children as cannon fodder. Look at the lives that we live. Maybe in bondage. You think, well, I'm not in bondage. It's a gilded cage. It can be a beautiful cage, but you're still a slave. They tell you to send your kid to school. You don't have a choice, right, at a certain age. And now, mom and dad, you go work. And we're going to take half your money, depending on your tax bracket and where you live. And give the other 10%, of course, to God. He needs some money too. And you find yourself at the end of your life. I went to their schools. I went to their churches. I spent my whole life in this job, and I feel unfulfilled. What did I do with my life and my time and my energy? It's gone. Why? It was your perception of what this life is. And you just took it hook, line, and sinker, everything they fed you. It's about perception. I want to read you something beautiful from Patanjali. He says ignorance. It could be ignorance, it could be false information. It's not just the absence of right knowledge. It's an actual type of perception. I want you to see how important perception is. It's a perception of reality that is opposite of true knowledge. It's a real mental state that creates a real reality, a real world that you will live in. If you believe that God gets angry, jealous, hates, wars, kills, tells you to go and kill men, women, and children and take the spoils. If you believe everything they feed you about who God is and what this world is and your place in it, and you never question it with your heart of hearts, and stand up and say, this doesn't sound right to me. And they might say, well, what authority? And the divine spark inside of me tells me you are a liar. I know right from wrong, good from evil. And this God you presented me, this life you presented me is not good. And that's why, my friends, this message of Asha, the original religion of the all-good spirit, our God, He's pure light, that pure force of love, good, light. He has no attributes of the evil spirit. He couldn't get angry. He couldn't hate. He couldn't tell you to go kill men, women, and children. He's just good, and in your heart of hearts you know it, but it's a choice. Do I want to accept that truth? How will it benefit me in society? How will it affect my bank account? How will I be looked upon by the government and my church and my friends? Maybe it's easier just to go along and live in the lie and illusion. It's not that bad anyway. Something to think about. Zoroaster says it's a choice every man and woman must make for themselves. You can choose truth, or you can choose the lie and illusion, or you can choose something in between. Maybe get one of those gods that loves sometimes and hates sometimes. Sends good sometimes, sends evil sometimes. He'll be at peace sometimes, at war sometimes. Those gods seem to work pretty good in this world. But do you want truth? Do you want the highest principle of good, the highest truth? Do you actually believe that could make a difference? If I hold that spirit and I invoke that spirit, that truth into me, and I hold that frequency, will it really make a difference in my world? Something only you can find out. My friend, but for myself, I found nothing feels better than living in that asha, in that truth. Living by my morals. Living by what I know is right, even though it's not always beneficial to me in this world. It's always beneficial to me in my mind and heart, though. And I found for me, that's what's important. I think I'm going to leave it there. There's more I could say, but I think I said enough. My friends, asha is. That's what's substance, that's what's reality, that's the real above all real. You can choose to accept that. It's not hard to find because it's in your heart of hearts. You know it already. I'm going to read one more thing to you. It's one of my favorites. One of the oldest prayers ever written down. You know, Yatahu, Shemvahu, they were transferred word of mouth for thousands and thousands of years. But this here was the first one ever written down. It says, circle of oath, insurmountable divine circle of oath, heaven and earth's unaltered circle by oath, God is one and cannot be changed. God and man shall not be divided. When you came to time, space, and your spirit, your soul took a form, God came with you. You come from good spirit. You're made of good spirit. You can't be separated from what you are. You can never be separated from God good. We make mistakes. Sometimes by ignorance of what we're taught and told. Sometimes out of selfishness. We choose the wrong and we pay those consequences for it. But God never leaves you. Never stops loving you. He says, you messed up, but I love you. You cannot be separated from what you are. When we realize that, and be that, we be that love, we be that peace in the earth, we do something beautiful. We make this earth a little more beautiful, a little more loving, a little more kind, a little more peaceful, and that is our gift to Gaia. I love, love, love you.